I'm glad I'm super rich.
Oh my god, it's Andrew Tate, that absolute titan of intellectual rigor, and saying the big brain smart guy things on the internet. Yeah, I was reminded of his existence recently by Candace Owens of all people, as she prattled about science being a cult and the earth being flat, probably. And she really likes Andy Tandy here. Had just a glowing recommendation. And if that is not the biggest oof you ever did here, I don't know what is. Anyway, super rich? Well, you would think you could afford to put on some damned clothes. I don't want to look at that shit.
You know, now that I'm super rich, I get to be one of those crazy rich guys.
I don't know, man. I've been covering you for years, and you have always been, how do I put it, fucking moron. One might think that your career of being a human punching bag might have had a negative effect on your brain for some reason.
Who acts unusual. And they're like, oh, he's a bit eccentric, but he's rich, so he gets away with it.
No, you think you've gotten away with shit you do, pizza boy? And even if we're talking about acting like a jackass, if the only people that you're listening to are the little simps who are desperate for your allegedly rich person approval, I assume in the hope that one day you will just hand them some money, hint to those people, he won't. They are probably the last people you should be listening to. And everyone else doesn't care if you have money, they care if you have something of value to say. Which, I mean, look at the guy, come on.
Like wearing a microphone on his chest. Everyone else puts a suit on, hides the microphone. I'm like, get a fucking microphone, bruv.
Someone's feeling self-conscious. I don't know anyone who cares. And if you're a real badass, you should do what my best friend ever, Kyle, does and hold the mic like an absolute Chad. Not this weak-ass wearing it shit. Also, if you were that rich, get a boom mic. And then you don't have to be weighed down by petty inconveniences.
Don't care. Built different. Don't care.
You really seem to care, and you really seem to care that people know you have money, which is funny, because it shows he's never heard the phrase, money talks, or in his case, yelps like an injured puppy, wealth whispers. That is to say, if you really have money, you don't need to tell anyone about it. The people who matter will know, and the people who don't know probably don't matter. But yeah, if you were really as wealthy as you want people to think you are, you should probably shut up about it. And you know, everything else as well.
One of my habits now is ignoring all data.
One of your habits now? I've been taking the piss out of you for years, before it was cool, and I am 100% sure that you have never paid attention to any kind of data. It's always been, here's my stupid opinion, now let me justify it with my stupid brain, and then my little fanboys run in when he says something obviously fucking dumb and says, no, it was a joke. But if he says something they think isn't dumb, then it's a serious good point for smart guys. But I'll give you a hint. If someone constantly says stupid shit and it only becomes a joke after someone else notices it was fucking stupid, it was never a joke. He just says everything in a smug tone with a shit accent. But those things a comedian does not make.
It's great. I love when people come to me and say, actually, we've got the data to prove. To prove what, you little pussy? What are you going to prove to me?
First off, I don't know what me secretly being a cat has to do with anything. Sorry, I mean pussy who. And second, to prove all sorts of shit. But right now, I have no idea. You haven't made a claim, dipshit. You have to start with those before dismissing whatever counterpoint someone has to say. Otherwise, you're just sat here talking to yourself like a numpty. And, well, yeah.
I can prove to you that the ice caps are melting.
I mean, they literally are. Like, I don't care if you are someone who doesn't buy climate change stuff, in whatever form that takes, but shit is literally happening, and the science, and no, I didn't say ex-political figure or TV show, I said the science, you know, the actual data shows that it is likely being caused by people. So if you don't like being called a denier, do yourself a favor and look into that rather than your favorite blog pretending that they did. And if for some reason they refuse to give you links to the papers they allege to have read, I'll give you a hint. They haven't read them.
There's ice in my water right now.
Is there? But you don't even have water. You just sat there conspicuously without it, or clothes. And frankly, green screens these days are pretty good. I wouldn't be surprised if that car's not there. And if it is, it's probably a lease. Sure there is. Is the ice in your water in the room with us right now? What's the ice in your water telling you to do? Preferably something along the lines of being quiet.
I'm going to leave the water unattended until the ice melts. Will the water overflow out of the cup? No.
Why the fuck would you expect it to? Oh my god, you think this is a refutation that sea levels will rise if the ice caps melt. I mean, for one, that's not even a refutation that the ice caps are melting, you fucking dunce. That's just saying that if they do, it won't do nothing though. But second, the ice sheets aren't in the water, you bastard spoon. They are on land. If you had ice sat on a surface leaning towards your drink and the ice melts, it sure as shit is going to make the drink level rise, if not overflow. My god, I knew you were a moron, but this is next level dumbassery. Imagine taking this man seriously about fucking anything.
Why are all the richest, most important people in the world who are pushing this scam buying beachfront homes?
Wow, that's not an argument. You said it yourself. Rich. When you are rich enough to buy a random beachfront property, I'm pretty sure whether or not you will get all your money back or even any of it on it is not the point of buying it. They buy it so they can use it. Also, sea level rise is still slow enough that they are going to get some decent time out of it as well. / they probably have the finances to sort out various things that will halt the effects of sea level rise against their properties. Basically, they're buying them because they're rich. But mostly because of the reason rich people do anything with their money. Because they fucking can. You should know this if you're so wealthy.
Oh, but the data says...
Yes, Andy Pandy, the data says human behavior doesn't change the fact that things are happening. And just because you haven't thought about why someone else might do something, doesn't mean that suddenly some other bullshit thing must be true. That's the thing. Your problem isn't data. Your problem is a complete lack of critical thinking skills in regards to just about anything.
The data's from the Matrix, and you are the Matrix, and the Matrix is full of lies.
No, the data is from reality, that thing that you are so entirely detached from. I'm amazed that that microphone you have doesn't just fall through your body. And the Matrix is just a term for not very smart people to throw out when they don't understand how something works, instead of just accepting their shortcomings. No. It must be reality that is at fault.
Anyone who actually analyzes the data nowadays proves they're a dumbass.
What a fucking statement. If you look at things and try to figure out how it works, idiot. No. What you gotta do is make up some nonsense facts that don't even remotely reflect something one might call truth, and then act like the smartest man in the room, all while your brain slowly leaks out of your ear. Not for long though, because your brain wasn't exactly megalith scale to begin with, and has more in common with a singular legume.
Have you seen that graph thing, that meme where you have the most stupid people and the most intelligent people do the same thing? And then you have the midwit in the middle.
Oh, sure, of course. Base your entire understanding of reality on a meme. Also, if you think you are at the smart end of that, well, that's a nope. And if you think you are at the dumbass end of it, bad news. On that scale, you are somewhere over here eating crayons and fucking a picture of yourself. Some people aren't even on the scale, and no, that is not meant as a compliment.
Data's for midwits.
First off, if you think this shit applies to every situation, again, look over there, that's you. And second, do you think the experts, the people who are doing things, actually creating functional shit in the world, the car allegedly behind you, the mic on your chest, the camera you couldn't get anyone to carry because you don't actually have any friends, all those things were invented by smarts using fucking data, and the dumbasses don't even understand the data. And there you are at the end, eating it, of course.
You know, I'm sure Jordan Peterson, when he was finished sucking off Ben Shapiro, were sitting around post-blowjob, going over the data together to get the jabby jab.
Motherfucker, how dare you? Don't you make me defend Jordan and Ben. That's just cruel. These guys are, in fact, way fucking smarter than you. And they're goddamn idiots. Again, look at the chart. And of course, you're fucking anti-vax. But I know why you specifically are. Pure jealousy. I mean, you saw that teeny tiny little prick and you thought, why can't I be that big?
If you're vaxxed, you're good to go. Right? You are. Just that's what the data say.
Well, the data says. Yeah, the data says. Well, actually, I guess statistically.
Is any of that supposed to be an argument? I mean, fine, if you don't trust the data or whatever, okay, but you need more than cry cry me no likey. You have to be able to explain why it's wrong, or even just why you think it's wrong. But no, it can't just be because Matrix though. You actually have to bring some of your own data or thought processes if you want to prove shit wrong. Otherwise, what you are is an ignorant moron who doesn't like things because of his feelings. So you know.
The pharmaceutical company who sells the jab made the fucking data. Why are you even reading it?
Sure, they definitely created some of the data, but do you know how science works? No, of course you fucking don't. Right, when they put studies out, do you know what happens? People fucking check it. They test it. They see if they can get repeatable results. No peer review consists of, well, I saw the numbers, but I didn't like them because my testosterone shrunken testicles wouldn't stop shaking. So it must be wrong. They actually do work to figure it out. You know, work, another thing you are completely unfamiliar with.
Why are you reading it?
Because, Tato, unlike you, other people, you know, can read. I know it makes you very, very mad that other people can do things that you can't, but as I said before, your inability to do something doesn't make doing that thing bad. It just makes you incompetent.
There were stupid people.
Case in point.
Who sat there and said, the jab's made of 5G cellular data. And then there was extremely intelligent people like me who said, I don't trust these motherfuckers. And we both didn't get the jab.
Now, first off, no, you aren't. You just aren't. If we try to use a way to quantify general stupidity, I assume you would just break it. And secondly, there were plenty of stupid people who just didn't trust it for various reasons. And there were smart people who are mental and buy into all sorts of insane shit and thus thought it was bad because whatever. And don't get me wrong, not trusting is fine, or at least it was fine. But at this point, all the predictions, the countless deaths that were predicted, all the shit that didn't happen. I don't know, the fact that illnesses still happen. Seriously, I've had people pointing out to me stuff that happened before vaccines even existed as a concept. They happened before, you fucking numpty. The only thing that's really happened, the problem is a lot more under control now. So if you aren't doing it because you think something bad's gonna happen, I don't know what to tell you. I think you're wrong, and you can continue to be wrong if you want, but I think it's just a little bit embarrassing at this point. But whatever, do what you want. Just try to do it for a reason that actually makes sense.
All the people in the middle were like, well, the data says, and the news said. They wouldn't just make us all take a jab for no reason. Jabby jab, jabby jab.
Well, that's always a problem. I have said it before. Stop getting your scientific info purely from news or politicians. And that's whatever way you swing. Get it from actual science. And at worst, get it from actual scientists who know what they're talking about. The news and random talking heads are generally not experts. So when people bang on and on and on about, oh, science said this years ago, it's inevitably not true. It was some guy said it. Well, I don't give a shit what they said. And I kind of wish they would shut the fuck up because the science actually said this other thing. Stop thinking that randos equal science. And that goes for me too. I get this shit wrong all the time. I'm a fucking moron. But then again, I know I am. And way less so than other people.
If you even look at data nowadays, you're a dumbass. You should just know.
Ah, of course, the I just know things gambit. It's not like the progression of humanity would entirely stop if we relied on people just knowing things. That if they, in the way back when times, instead of actually looking at the world, taking down information, comparing things to each other, etc., they had just said, well, God must have did it. Let me put it this way. Do you know how many Bugattis you would have without data? Well, assuming you actually own any of them, fucking none, because they wouldn't exist.
Street smart people don't need data. We've just been around.
Need it for what? And street smart, oh my god. I said this last time. I think Candace talked about the fucking school of hard knocks. And this is the exact same I'm a dumbass shit. The best you can learn from just existing is the things that are near you. That's it. There's so much more to the world than that which you can see with your own eyes. And only complete morons rely purely on their senses to understand things.
You know?
More than you, yes. Probably vastly.
I've just been around. I just know things because I've just been around.
Maybe, but do you know everything? Do you genuinely believe you are a font of all info? Because here's what I know about genuinely smart people, and what I know about colossal idiots. Smart people understand that they don't know everything. In fact, smart people often understand that there is no limit to what they don't understand, as there is always something new to learn, and they will probably have forgotten more things than they will ever know, because that's just the nature of the mind. And stupid people are convinced that they know basically everything, that they understand everything, and that thing that they don't appear to understand, well, that's just a stupid thing, or it's a lie, or it's whatever thing other than a failure on their part to comprehend it. As the old saying goes, the intelligent are full of doubt, and the biggest dumbass on earth's last name rhymes with plate.
On the street.
Tell me then, when did you learn quantum mechanics? Was it a street physicist preaching about string theory? How did you get your engineering degree? Was it on a piece of discarded toilet paper you found stuck to the bottom of your shoe as you stumbled around town? How exactly did you solve the Riemann hypothesis? I can only assume you did it entirely in your giant cavernous skull, and you aren't going to tell us because it's a secret. That, or you were entirely full of shit and you don't even know any of the things that I just said. And bear in mind, I barely fucking understand any of it, but then again, I'm smart enough to know my limitations, whereas Andrew doesn't have any limit to his sheer fucking stupidity.
Wait, before you go, I have something super important to tell you. It's life or death. It will change everything forever. Nope, wait, it's gone. Oh well, probably wasn't important. But while I have you, don't forget to comment, subscribe and notify. And if you want more of my smexy voice, check out Mrs. Six's channel Spoonstaff Stories, where I narrate and voice all the videos, and she does the work. And if you want to support the channel, check out the merch store for cool t-shirts, or check out Patreon, memberships and PayPal to support directly. Finally, follow me on the medias of social to get completely pointless guff and to keep up on the latest releases. Oh, I just remembered what I was going to tell you. Whatever you do, don't touch the